What's up, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and I got another fix for you today. Today is the day. I posted it on Instagram. Today is the day we put those couplers, the differential bushing, and the drive shaft bearings in my Cadillac STS. Stay tuned, guys. So welcome to the channel, guys. If you like this kind of stuff that I'm doing, please like and subscribe at the bottom. But right now, let's get into what we're about to do. So we are all set up. I got all my stuff laid out. I already got the car sitting on jack stands. I already got the rear wheels off because we're going to be doing a lot of the work on the rear end, and we're going to be doing everything from here all the way to here. So I got a little bit more wheel off to take more access. I'm sitting on all 4 jack stands, and we're gonna start getting into this, guys. So let me show you what we got. So as you know, here are my couplers. Here are both my couplers ready to go in. We're gonna do these later. I also got have my drive shaft bearing support. This is the OE one, but this one right here, get it out. This one right here is a little more performance. If you haven't seen my Instagram video, I'll explain it. This is a high performance. I wouldn't say high performance. I would say more heavy duty, mild high performance drive shaft bearing. This is a little more stiffer than the OE. The OE, I can actually do a comparison. So yeah, let's see. So this is the OE. This is the OEM one. The same design, same everything. But as you see right here, if you see really closely for the focuses, I can actually squeeze this little wall a little bit, just a little bit, not that much. And this is the standard OE bearing inside. But this one, the walls are stiffer, the boot is heavy duty, and the bearing is almost close to a polyurethane. I don't believe it is. I believe this whole entire thing is just a heavy duty version, which means it'll last a little longer. So I'll put the link in the description down below where I got these from. I got these from Amazon. I actually got both from the Amazon, but the only reason why I got the OEM one was because the high performance one didn't come with all these little dust shields and clips in the boots that I needed. So that's the reason why I bought an OEM one. And as I mentioned on Instagram, if anybody needs one of these, let me know. We can work out some kind of deal. Maybe you just pay for the shipping, getting it to you. We can work some kind of deal like that. So if someone needs one of these and one can't find it, maybe you're overseas and it's really expensive or it's hard to find, shoot me a comment down below. And if you really need one of these, we can work something out. We can work out some kind of deal on price, or I probably would just have you just pay for the shipping to get it to you, because that's probably more better. So I'll just probably do that. We'll just work on whoever wants this, just pay for the shipping and I'll send it out to you, no problem. So let me know in the description if you guys want this. I'm not going to need it. I have that one. So moving on to the P Resistance. This is the revshift rear differential bushing I've been talking about. This is going to go in the rear where my OE one, which is normally the common problem. This is their green version. This is the 95A polyurethane, which I believe it's the race street version. They have another one that's I believe it's an 80A millimeter or 80A grade, which is black, and I think that's just almost a little better than OEM. But this one's a little more aggressive. I wanted this one because I have the my revshift in there, and this will take some of that flex, and that'll take some of my flex, because those bushings are 85A, which is in between a 95 A and an 80A. So it's right in the middle. That should be pretty good. It's got a little bit of flex, which is fine, because that'll take some of that vibration stuff. Hopefully that'll work. So we're gonna get all that installed, guys, and get this rocking and rolling. But the first thing we have to do is we gotta get that exhaust out. So let's get under there and get that going. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to lubricate these little bushing pieces because they've been up in there quite a while, and it doesn't hurt to get them a little bit on the wet side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up there to the front and loosen these up before we take these out, because all the tension is up front because they're bolted. Once I get them unbolted and get them loose, should be able to slide it back a little bit, and then we will be able to go from there. So let's put this on a time lapse. All right, guys, so we're back. Took a little while getting this off, but see, now I got the whole entire exhaust off. This sucker is heavy. Holy cow. But one of these days I will get some new mufflers. I think I'm gonna change these out. I think I'm maybe getting some Voodoo. I think they sell some Voodoo exhaust systems that work for this. Actually, it might fit right even here, cut. You know, maybe make a little cut there and make a flange out so it'll nice and tightly hit up there. But yeah, man, this sucker is heavy, but it's out. So now we get full access to up under the car, as we will see. Let's get under there and check it out. So as you see, we have full access to this shaft from front to back. All we gotta do is just get this heat shield off. All right, guys, so now we just got the heat shield down, and now you can see we got full access from the shaft. Here's the support bearing where we're gonna replace, and then obviously the shaft, there's a shaft up here. Actually, we'll slide this back. As you see, there's a shaft up here. This is for the transmission. Then down there is for the rear end. So now all we gotta do now is we gotta take this shaft out, and then we'll start working on the rear end, and then we'll keep moving forward. So now all we have to do is get these nuts off. We're gonna get the drive shaft off first, and there's three drive shafts here. I'll get this first nut off, and then now I just need to put it in neutral and then get the rest of them off. And then we'll get this side out, and then we'll go down to that end and we'll get that side out, and then we'll take this out, and then the shaft should just come right out. So let's go into time-lapse mode. So I already taken off all 3 bolts from both ends of the drive shaft. As you see in my behind my head, there's one out there, and I've taken the bolts out at the rear. So now I got this support loosened. Should be pretty good. So now all I need to do is get a crowbar and separate the two. You may have to rotate a little bit because it'll be stuck. And then there's one end. Okay. And then now we will take the weight. Take the weight of this And then, voila, shaft's out. Now we have access to the couplers and everything. Yep, nice and free and clear. Leave those in, we'll take them out and we'll swap them out with the new ones, and then we'll start working on the rear end. So now we're gonna get ready to take out the rear differential bolt. There's one here, there's one here on the other side, and then the big boy, the one up front. So we're gonna do that right now. All right, guys, so we're back. I had to skip towards getting it out because the bolts were taking a long time getting them out of there. But then once I've gotten this bolt out, it just kind of came down with it. So this is the easiest way, is just basically taking the two stud bolts out. See, there's one here, and then there's one there, and then this one in the center. And then you put a jack stand on, and once you get them all out, you just kind of let it gradually fall down, and it just falls and it sits on the axle. Now, there are another way you can do that if you don't feel comfortable doing it this way. And there are some people that have done it, and they just basically, there's 4 of these. There's one here, there's one here, and then there's some more up there, and then one up there. And you could actually just lower the whole entire subframe down. You could do it that way if you want to take the whole thing out and then get better access to it. But I find that this is a lot easier, because when you do that, you have to take out the springs, you have to take apart the brake cable, for the parking brake, all the extra stuff just to lower this whole entire thing down. And that's fine if you plan on maybe doing some more bushings or some more stuff that you plan on doing. That's perfect. But if you're just doing this, I find this way more easier. So now that the actual thing fell out, this is common, this will actually just fall right out. Now we have to take our little hacksaw and cut into here, and then we got to get this out. So that's the next thing we do. All right, guys, so we just got this out. Came out nice and easy. Had to made 2 slits, 1 slit here, 1 slit there, and just piled it on one end and then piled it on the front. And as you see, it is cleaned out. Now we're gonna clean this up. I gouged it just a little bit, but it's okay. I had to get down to the metal, so I didn't cut it completely off, so it's fine. So now we're gonna take this and we're gonna put the Reflex on there, or the revshift bushings on here. So this is what I wanted to show you. So this is the new differential bushing. This is from Revshift. This is a 95A polyurethane, super dense, super strong. I think this is the street racing version. I believe this is about 50 some bucks at Revshift. I can put the link in the description down below if you guys want to see this and get one of these. They have 2 different versions. They have a black one that's 85A grade. I think that's a little over OEM style, a little more stronger than OEM. So here is the original one, as you guys can see. This is what it used to look like, and that's the sleeve. And then took that out, and now we're going to replace it with this one. So it just pops that right off, and then you can put some grease in there and grease in here, so we can tap this in there. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, guys, so now we got it installed. Took a little bit, took a little finessing, had to get it pressed in there really good, but now it's in there. There it is right there. There it is up top. Now it looks good. Now what we have to do now is just get this all back up, and then we'll get it all bolted, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, check this out. It's all bolted in there and it's all ready to go. I got the other bolt back in there. Focus, that bolt right there and that bolt right there. Everything's nice and bolted. Now all I gotta do now is I gotta replace these couplers, and I gotta replace the drive shaft. I think we'll probably go ahead and do the drive shaft since that's the last biggest thing. These are not gonna be too hard. Just unbolt them, replace them with mine, and then bolt them back up, and then this should be pretty good. So we'll probably go ahead and get started on the drive shaft. Alright guys, now it's time to do the drive shaft. This long piece of drive shaft, we're going to replace this bearing shaft with this heavy duty one. We're going to do all the clips and pieces, and we're going to take them all apart. I'm going to show you guys how that's done. Alright guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to try to take this clip off here. You just lift and pry. You got a replacement one, but we'll lift it until we can get it off. Then lift this up right here. Lift that up right there. And there it is, it's off. So you slide that out the way. Then we have this dust boot that's got to come off. All right. We got this right here. Let's lift this up. So there's a spring in between the shaft, so you gotta pull it as hard as you can. See? There you go. Got the little spring there. So we got that off. And we got it marked. Tap off this dust boot. Alright, dust boot's off. Slide this off. It's actually pretty good. We actually might just reuse that boot. We got this little dust shield here. Let's see if we can get this off. Dust shield's off. And then, if you can see, inside this hole there's a little retainer ring. So we will take our retainer tool. All right, so we're going to take our retaining tool. All right, guys, we're back. Had to take just a little banging, but now it's off. And then all we got to do is put the other one on. So after we do all that, just clean this area off. And then we'll get some grease. As well as we'll take a little dab and just put it inside here. Alright, slide this on. Just like so. It's nice and tight. We will reuse our ring. Just gotta make sure it pulls down so it clicks, like so. Now it's in there. And then we'll put on the dust shield. Like so. We'll get our little tapper tool. So it's on there. Yep, see, there it is. Nice and tight. Then we will use our boot. So this boot in is going to go here. But before we do, we want to lube up the drive shaft just so it has gear lubes all in the, protect it like so. We'll take our cover, ever so gently slide it on. Ring is in the way. It's a little forceful, but we got it. There we go. Get it right there. And we will take our end. Make sure we get it to the right alignments. Like so. And snap it in place. Take our ring. Had a fight with it just a little bit, but it is on there now, nice and good and ready to go. So now all we gotta do is take care of the couplers and then we'll be good. All right guys, now we're gonna take this off. This is the rear coupler for the drive shaft, because as you can see there's the revshift rear differential bushing. Just a heads up on this, if you decide that you want to get the revshift bushing, just note that this green little lip is a lot thicker than the OE one. So what I had to do was I had to take a crowbar and just flare out the bracket piece just a little bit, enough for it to fit, and then I had to put a jack and jack it up just to force it up in there. And when I did that, it worked perfectly. So just make sure you flare both ends, make it wider a little bit, so it'll incorporate that new thick end lip, because the lip on both ends is really thick. It's thicker than OE, so you would want to flare that out just a little bit, just so that way you don't have that issue, because if not, you won't get it in there and it'll be riding along this little lip, and you might cut into your polyurethane, which you don't want to do that. So just FYI. So right now we're gonna take off the coupler. It's still got the bolts attached into it because it's on the back of the rear end. That's no big deal. We'll just take it and rotate it. Like I said, always make sure you got your marks, and then you'll be good to go, and that will be fine. And then you just rotate it until you find wherever your markings are at, because you want it to be marked right back up. And mine is right here down at the bottom, straight through, good to go. So it's about a week later. I had to stop my video that I did on Thursday. I had to stop it because I did get my metal couplers in, but I had an issue with them. So it wasn't an issue of them bolting up. They bolted up perfectly. They lined up perfectly. The problem was the centerpiece. So when I reamed it out, I guess it wasn't balanced correctly, you know, perfectly reamed out, even to even. So when I put them on, they started vibrating really, really bad. So I tried everything. I tried flipping them. I tried everything. I'm balanced. The drive shaft is balanced correct. Everything is perfect, except for these. And so these, I believe these will work, because the reason why the hole was reamed out after I figured it out, the reason why I think the hole is reamed out is because there's a nut on both ends, on the rear end and the transmission. There's a nut, an access hole to a nut in the center. Now I think that's why this hole is big, so you could access it without having to take the couplers off. So so I had to wait a week because I had to order new OEM couplers. And as you see, the hole is about the same, and it's not because of, I thought it was because of the little nipple end that it needs to sit on. It actually doesn't even sit on the nipple. It's actually still a nice big gap. It sits on these little lifted pieces. The shafts on either end fits on these little lifted, lifted inserts, and they snap right in. And then this hole is huge. So I'm not giving up on these. I just think that what I need to do is order them and use them the way they came, which means no reaming them out. So leave them at the 50mm hole opening instead of opening them up to a 2 1/8 inch hole. So or 1 1/8 inch hole, making it 2 inches and 1/8. So I'm not giving up on these, but for me to drive the car now, I'm just gonna go and put the OEM couplers that I just bought from Advance Auto. They came really fast. They came really fast, faster than anybody else would have gotten them to me. So I'm gonna put these on. I'm gonna do a video on showing you how to put these on, and later, maybe around summertime, I'm gonna come back to these. I'm gonna order 2 more original ones without reaming it out, and we're gonna retry and fit them on the car, because they fit, they bolt up, the rotation was fine. It's just that with me taking out so much metal and it being uneven, it started wobbling. So we're still gonna test this theory because no one's doing this, and I believe these will work. So I'm gonna order 2 more new ones without reaming out the hole, and I think I may upgrade these couplers. These bushings. I think I may upgrade them because these are 85 grade A. So I might try to see if I can find something a little more better than these couplers. They're kind of soft, I noticed, and as you see, when it wobbled, I lost one of them. So they're really soft, softer than I actually thought they would actually be. So I might try to see if I can get these upgraded. But so these are kind of scrapped, and I took both of them out. So I got 2 out. I gotta add 2 new ones in there. The rear end, perfect. The rear differential bushing, perfect. The center support shaft bushing, perfect. So those 2 work great. I'm gonna fit these in, and that'll complete the whole entire drivetrain on. And like I said, they have little raised 3 points on either side. So, and they also have these little directionals. So you want one directional going towards the transmission and the other one going towards the rear. So let's see if we can scooch it a little bit more. All right, so like so. Just want to get it nice and lined up. Just like that. And it fits, and then we'll do the other end. So now we got the drive shaft in place. Now we gotta do is just put the bolts on. Pretty simple. Simple and straightforward. I already got the bolts that's going on the inner side. I just gotta put the bolts on the other side. And then don't forget to put your Loctite on there. And we'll get them loosely on there, and we'll get them tightened up. All right, guys, so it's all done. It is wrapped. It is all fixed. It is ready to go. I thank you guys so much for all the love and support. If you guys like this stuff, please like and subscribe at the bottom. But that's it, guys. So like I said, these will be worked on a little later. We'll do some more, a little more finessing with them. Maybe later in the summer, I'll order some more and refix them, revamp them. But we'll do that in another episode. But guys, that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the love and support. Like I said, if you guys please like and subscribe. But until the next fix, I'll see you guys later. Peace.